Hi Star Wars fans, welcome back to the Hyperspace Database. I'm Jonesy, your Mandalorian, here with today's topic, the Carrack Cruiser. The Carrack-class light cruiser was a gunship developed by the Damorian Manufacturing Corporation during the final days of the Galactic Republic, and was used throughout the Clone Wars and many years beyond. The Carrack Cruiser served in an important role in the Republic Navy, and was classified as a light cruiser gunship, which fit in between a capital ship and starfighter class. The Carrack was pretty heavily armed compared with other ships of its size, and was very quick and maneuverable for being so large. It was smaller than a Star Destroyer, but about the same size as an Arquitan's cruiser, or the Quasar Fire cruiser seen in Rebels. While the Carrack was already heavily armed for a cruiser, there was actually a second weapon configuration set for this ship, dubbed the Anti-Starfighter variant, which substituted its 20 ion cannons with 20 heavy laser cannons to better target small ships like starfighters and gunboats. The Carrack was heavily armored on top of being well armed, with its reinforced bulkheads granting it the ability to survive quite a bit of punishment from enemy fire. The ship also had an advanced independent life support system, which allowed its crew to survive for quite some time in a damaged section of the ship. If a section of the ship was completely destroyed, or if there was a hull breach, different sections of the craft would seal off, and its crews would hunker down until a rescue party could be sent to retrieve them. Since it was a smaller gunship, it did not have an internal hangar bay, so later models were equipped with external docking racks that could hold up to 5 TIE fighters for escort and scouting missions. One really interesting and cool feature about the ship was its automated operating systems. The Carrack normally crewed about 1,100 beings, and housed a small contingent of about 142 soldiers, but in case of emergencies or personnel shortage, the entire ship could be operated by just 2 people, with the rest of its systems being completely automated. The Carrack Cruiser was developed prior to the Clone Wars, but ended up being heavily used during that conflict because of their dependability in battle. They served as fast attack escort ships for larger capital ships, like the Venator destroyer, even taking part in the Battle of Coruscant to take down General Grievous's flagship, the Invisible Hand. After the end of the Clone Wars, when the Empire changed over most of their Clone Wars ships to newer Imperial-designed craft, the Carrack Cruiser wasn't scuttled like many of the other ships. Instead, it was repurposed and assigned as a system patrol craft in quieter sections of Imperial space. It wasn't as formidable against newer capital ships that were developed after this point, but it was still fast and tough enough to break through most enemy blockades and escape with important cargo or personnel. One notable Carrack was the Dominant, which was seen at the Battle of Bakura in 4 ABY, and was the sole Imperial cruiser in the Bakuran system at the time of the Sea-Rook invasion. As a credit to the toughness of the ship, it survived the direct assault of the entire attacking Sea-Ruvi fleet, though as a result of the battle it was heavily damaged. It became the cornerstone ship of the temporary Imperial Rebel Alliance fleet, which was established to counterattack and drive out the alien invaders from Bakura, and the Dominant was then tasked to lead the newly created Bakuran Alliance System Defense Force after the conflict. Many of these Carrack cruisers were used by both Admiral Zinj and Grand Admiral Thrawn in Legends after the fall of the Empire at Endor, as they each took control of their own Imperial forces to fight against the New Republic. The Carrack design was first introduced in the Legends novel Heir to the Empire, as a part of Grand Admiral Thrawn's Imperial fleet, and these designs were actually based off of concepts featured in the Star Wars RPG Rules Companion Guide, and an illustration of the ship was later featured in the Imperial Sourcebook, another guide for the Star Wars RPG. Its first appearance in the new canon is in the Tarkin novel, and it also appears in the Aftermath trilogy of novels, as well as in several video games and comics. The Carrack Cruiser was a highly sought-after light cruiser due to its heavy armor and superior armament, and served both the Galactic Republic and the Empire extremely well, as it was loved by pilots and crews from both eras who knew of the solid dependability of this exemplary military gunship. Want to know more about great Star Wars topics like this one? Be sure to check out my other videos on my channel, hit those like and subscribe buttons, and the bell to never miss an episode that I publish. Be sure to select all notifications to be notified every time I post something new. Be sure to chat with me in the comments too, because I really want to talk to you. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I'll see you in the next one.